You know, you don't need a rock hard body to rock your life, but you need rock hard self-esteem, a rock hard mindset, a rock hard belief in your purpose and your passion. What I was beginning to feel personally, this is not necessarily an industry thing, it might not even be truth, because again, your brain can tell you whatever you want, but I was beginning to see these amazing women and men, but a lot of women who were fantastic, doing our classes, but all they could see was everything that was wrong with them.
Right.
And that was a common conversation that I'd had for 10, 15 years. They would come into a class with me, hey man, how do I get rid of this? Like 0% body fat. I'm like, okay, we're missing something here. They're doing all the right things. From the outside looking in, they look phenomenal. What are we not addressing?
Right.
And it was the mindset. And
so just on that point,
yeah.
So just to go into a bit more detail, and so what you were seeing instructors that you were working with, and what listening and hearing them, they felt incomplete with who they were, is that?
Yeah, they weren't saying that.
Right.
They were just asking the traditional fitness questions. How do I lose this? How do I lose that? But there was but I'm like, at what expense?
Right.
You're losing your happiness, you're losing your joy, because you're looking at this as the definition of your success. You can look, I always say you can rock your body, but unless you're rocking your life, at what cost?
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a rock hard body to rock your life, but you need rock hard self-esteem, a rock hard mindset, a rock hard belief in your purpose and your passion. And so some of it was also my inner workings going on, because I'd had this incredible career, but I had this imposter syndrome that came with me for so long until I started to talk about it, realizing that 70%, 80% of the people I talked to, including some of the people I revered, also felt that way.
Right.
Because I didn't have a master's and a PhD, and I talk about this very openly now, and I had been positioned as a fitness expert. I never called myself that, but the news did and Reebok did. So this word expert to me felt that you had to have these credentials. I didn't. And so I always felt like I'm going to get caught out. They're going to ask me a question I don't know. And I had forgotten all that I have, like my enthusiasm and my love of people and how I inspire people. I put all that aside, and all I could focus on was, well, someone might ask you a kinesiology thing. And that wasn't what I was up presenting, but I was afraid that because I didn't know every single thing about the body and every single thing about the biomechanics, I might get caught out.
So what made you think that? Because you were successful. You were, like, I've read some of the things that you've done, and you've been on television, you've won lots of awards. So I guess putting a mirror on yourself, it's like, well, yeah, you are successful. Why did you not feel successful when you clearly had achieved a lot of success?
It's a great question, and I talk a lot about this. I believe it was because in my early formative years, I had people that told me that.
Right.
You're not enough, you're not smart, you're never going to make it. And I also, there's nothing wrong in, someone says that, kill them with, break them down. But I say they broke me down, they forgot to build me back up. And self-esteem is just like a muscle. And so for many people out there coaching, women, men, you're also a self-esteem coach, because it's like that, it's like functional training. You sometimes have to go and isolate things and fix them to get the whole, it's like you're only as strong as your weakest link. Sometimes the weakest link is not even the body. It's this little part inside them going, I'm working out with a great trainer, but really, I'm never fit enough to really get fit. Because somewhere in their childhood or in their formative years, they had a coach, might not be their parents, that told them that. And at some point in my life, I took that on as my voice. And it's also, so much of, I went back to school for positive psychology, and now I know what it is. It's my negativity bias. As humans, we are conditioned, because our ancestors had to focus on what could hurt them, the negative, to keep them alive. Now I recognize those thoughts was my fear trying to keep me protected.
Right.
But what it did was kept me small. And what it did was keep me separated from being able to actually do work that mattered in the world and take risks. Now I know what that is, and I can look at it and go, oh, interesting. And use the word, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Even versus going, that's a good thought, that's a bad thought. That's interesting. What's really underneath that?